I think there's some amazing things that we've learned. The first thing is not to take yourself too seriously. Yeah. I think you really need to think, hey, we do some really crazy things that we need to laugh at ourselves and say, why do we do that? It's just a cultural thing. But if you get all upset over those trivia, it's like, don't take yourself too seriously, and yet take yourself seriously enough. So it's a kind of dilemma. And I remember when Yemi was saying we needed to bring these black church leaders together, and he said, Roy, every time you do these leaders gathering, you bring sandwiches. He said, we don't do sandwiches. We want hot food. And I'm like, why? Why do you want hot food? He said, no, you don't understand. Culturally, that's what we do. And if I'm going to enter into their world, don't be, no, we're going to do sandwiches. We've always done sandwiches. This is what we do. We did hot food. And all of a sudden they were like, wow, there's hot food.
Great. It's so simple, isn't it? Some of it. This is so simple and it's so practical. And as Yemi said, it's all about listening. It's listening and not just saying, look, you know, we just do sandwiches. It's listening. Great. We can do hot food, but unless we listen, we'll never think to do hot food. And it's just, isn't it? It's a really brilliantly crystal clear example.
Exactly. And another thing is I thought, I'm not just going to turn up at a black majority church when I'm speaking or when they've invited me. I'm just going to rock up, because if I really want to find out, and I love my brothers and sisters, then I'm just going to come and just be there. And I did. And all of a sudden, you realize I'm the only white person in the room. And all of a sudden, I understand something of what it must have been like for Yemi when he's the only black person in the room. And culturally, they do some things that are just different. They're not wrong, they're just different. And different styles, different ways of communicating, different language. But for me, recognizing the beauty of Christ, recognizing that these are my brothers and sisters, recognizing that, just sitting in those auditoriums, when we'll be able to do that again, who knows? But at the start, I just was intentional about listening, not with an agenda, just to understand their world. In the same way that a missionary would, if you were going into another cultural context, you don't just, and it was Yemi that really, we would look at some publicity, we would look at some materials, and he would say, Roy, you can't put that out like that. Because look at it, it's so white. There's white people everywhere. And he would be our eyes to say, if we're going to really unite, then you've got to hear what I'm saying. Till in one point, Yemi said we produced something, and he said, at last, you've got it, you've done it.
Great, it's great.
And the way you got, you shifted. You had too many black faces in a magazine that is of a white establishment. I said, you are overdoing it, Roy. I'm part of that also.
That's great.
I must say that people can learn from that. We learn from each other. I must say that part of that is sacrifice. And I must commend the sacrifice of Roy. Every December 31st in our church, Roy will make an effort to drive down from Robin and his wife and attend the all-night service on December 31st. The first call I'll always get on December 31st from the team in the church is, can you ring Roy the number of his car so that we can make a reserved spot for him? Every December 31st. Why? Because he has, he has made himself available to be part of that community. And we now see him not as someone over there or we over there. We now see ourselves as brothers and sisters because we are learning from each other through that relationship.